So I've been saying, since the start that things just keep going, Things just be moving around and doing their own thing, and I'm a part of all of it, right? I remember, a long time ago at this point, what was her name? What was that lady's name? She ran for the U.S. presidency, but she lost. Yeah, I think when Kamala Harris was talking about the you exist in the context of everything that's ever happened, blah, 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 you just fall out of a coconut tree, blah. Dude, that is, I'll be real. That lady always kind of reminded me of my mother. Appearance-wise and, personality-wise and whatever. But it is very much like, wow, and everybody kind of clowned on her for it, it's like, and maybe it was so obvious to everyone that it's like, yeah, all right, lady, get off the stage, boo, go home, but no, she's got a point. She does have a point there. Everything that's ever happened, I'm not gonna say it led up to you being born or to me, but it kind of just exists. Yesterday I talked about day trading. I'll say for the first time things went well. I didn't lose thousands of dollars. Instead of losing thousands of dollars, I gained $15. But mind you, I have such a small amount of risk tolerance right now to prevent I trade on a prop firm. I talked about this in another video that I probably haven't uploaded because I'm a little lazy. But you have a drawdown, you have an account-wide drawdown, right? And I believe it's $2,500, and so far I may have lost $3,500, but I had a little buffer that I had built up through my winnings when I got started, right? And it's going all right. All right, I didn't lose for the first day in a long time, even if it was a small gain, and I'm no closer to taking out a payout than I was before. It's fine, because a win, I really had to reset my expectations because, again, I had no real, system, so to say. I kind of have one, but it's also no, not really. It's just hey, you are one of those boys. And turns out it wasn't one of those boys. I was not one of those, goated with the sauce individuals who could show up. I'm not gonna curse this video too, just to one day where I talk real, how I actually talk, and one day where I talk more civilized, more let's say PG, parental guidance. But I have to be happy with any win I can get. But I have a system now. I'm only risking a certain amount per trade. I kind of just close out the app if I lose too much, which right now is literally one loss. I've built up enough that I can sustain several, wins and losses. And my wins are, I want to make however much, and I want to lose another amount, right? So let's say I'm doing my reward to risk will be like factors of 2 to 1, but not exceeding 1%. And let's assume that I control very little. I have like $60, which equates to basically 6 tries, 1 week. I could extend that out. I could only risk $5 to make, more. And I'm still, honing exactly how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna stick to those rules, especially going forward, and I'm just going to size up and up and up, right? So yesterday I was trading with 1 micro. This is what I should have did a while ago, was switch off from minis to micros. I use the ES as my instrument for trading futures. ES, each point that the market moves, when you hear like, oh, the market's gone up 1% or however many points it's rallied, blah, blah, blah. Each of those points are $50, right? There's a bunch of different ones. I mean, there's 3 or 4 that I'm aware of. I found out about futures trading for precious metals recently, but I'm not gonna do that. Not yet. I don't even know how it really works, I assume, but I don't know the point about. I know nothing. I don't know how it moves. I don't know anything. The ones I'm most likely to use, or I've used in the past, are NQ, which is the NASDAQ, and ES, which is the S&P 500. There's also the Dow Jones. I think it's called YD or something. I don't use that guy. I don't care. But basically, micro contracts are 1/10 of the size of a mini contract. So we're looking at $5 per tick instead of $10, right? That makes things a little easier, because that means I can handle more than one losing day. Yesterday I had $50. So if I lost even a little bit on a mini contract, my account just closes. I'm done. You're cooked, buddy. So we're on micros. I was dealing with 1 micro contract for the day yesterday, and I'm debating switching to 2. I could still do 1, but 2 is probably, it's kind of just like, how much do you want? I have the most practice on 2 micros, because I had a paper trading account, which I actually use now more often to, I'm not going to say cook the books, but you know what I mean. Like, I use it to hop on and do a little yamin, practice some stuff, look at setups, kind of watch the market. And if I ever lose for the whole day, I might just switch to paper trading just so I can keep practicing, because there's no stress. I noticed, compared to me trading on the prop firm, like, there's not really any stress. And the prop firm, you may say, hey, don't you feel don't you feel stressed out about, like, controlling and, let's say gambling with your own money? And no, not really. I don't feel weird. I feel like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. because on a prop firm, you basically pay a company to take an evaluation, to be given the opportunity to use their money to trade, and you slowly build up your account from like a simulated one where you can't take payouts to one that's still simulated where you can take payouts to finally to one where you're live and you're not simulated and blah blah blah. Our goal is to size back up. We're trying to get back to where we left off, which was, I was making money. God damn, I was making some money. And my greed took over, my sin, avarice. It's tough, I'm a larger guy. I actually think, who's to say, dude, I don't know. Just kind of gauge how you feel when I'm talking like from my perspective right now, but I kind of gauge how I feel when I express each sin, I suppose. And my greed, I'm a bigger guy, right? I like to eat food. Sometimes when I'm already full, I still want more food. And I'm that way with things. I was that way with things. Toys, which later became electronics, which are, video games, which are just more expensive toys, in my opinion. But I love things. I love nice electronics. When I built my PC, I tried to get the best stuff I could get for the amount of money I had. I actually kind of screwed myself over when I bought that stuff, just because, I got a 3080 and 5800 X3D. Originally I had a 5900, and then I was like, I think I'll get another one instead. And I ended up selling my friend my 5800, which he later fucked up. He broke it because he's a little regarded. And I said, hey man, I'll fix it, don't worry. You could just straighten out the pins. And he said, I'm too scared. So that $300 processor that I gave it to him, he just never used it. He's too scared and he didn't want to take it anywhere, and blah 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 blah. To keep a short story long, I like nice things and I want a lot of them, and that extends to money too. And so when I trade, I always run that risk of overconfidence, pride, and I just get greedy. Maybe I'll be up $1,000 for the day. I lose, and then I'm like, hey, that's not cool. I want more, right? Can't do that. Cannot do that. You just need to, it's a discipline thing. It's what separates, profitable day traders from people who are just here to gamble. It's insane, really. It's not insane. I think it's actually very simple when you think about it, and it's worth just, taking your time, being careful, avoiding situations you shouldn't be in, having some foresight, because having to build up this account again, mind you, the reason I could just fail out the thing if I wanted to. I almost did yesterday off of one accidental bad trade, but I don't want it to fail. Because I'm the closest I've ever been to making money off of this. And if I even take one payout from these guys, I make up the cost of my evaluation, everything, I'll be at zero, you know? I saw what could have been, and I put the cart in front of the horse, which I always do. That also comes from like ADHD and like when I would actively compete in Melee, Smash Melee. I wouldn't think about the match and beating the person in the match. I would think about what happens if I win this match. Everything's gonna change. Nothing's gonna change. I mean, people are gonna have a little more respect for you as a competitor because, like, oh, this guy has taken some names. He's beaten some pretty good players here. Look out for him. But keep a long story short, again, you have to be focused on the process. Don't think about like telling everybody, yo, I'm a day trader, yo, I'm making fat stacks, I'm gonna be making 10K a month. Because you're not. That's not true. Who told you that? My eyes were a lot bigger than what they should have been. I should have, I have to kind of think about like how many hours of labor does it take me to make what I just made on the market. And that's kind of how we have to go about these things. But that's enough for me. I'm going to go to work and maybe see if I can find a few setups for trades I like today. And if I lose, I'm turning the app off. And if I win, I go again. But that's it. That's really it, man. I don't got much else to say. Yeah. That's about it. All right, bye.